Okay, so let's get started. The first thing you want to do is go to www.myconsignmentmanager.com/Guelph multiples. That will take you to this page here, which is the front page to our registration and tagging system. You will need to create a user account, and then you'll need to register for the sale. And you can see those buttons here on the screen. We're going to move past that. I'm going to assume all of you have done that, or again, it takes about 5 minutes if that. It's quite simple. And we're going to log in with our username and password. I'm going to log in with mine if I can remember it. And you can see on that previous page that there was, if you forget your password, you forget your ID, it's all self-service, so you can kind of click on that. You don't have to email us. It'll email the My Consignment Manager people and the system, and it'll help you out. Again, if you have any problems, though, please contact me. Ruth, you can reach me at guelphmultiples@live.ca, and I will do what I can to help you out for sure. After you log in, it'll say welcome. It'll have your seller number here. You'll note that all seller numbers are now 4 digits. So if you had a 3-digit number, don't worry about your old tags. We'll take care of that. There's nothing you need to do. We'll take care of that at this point of sale. But in the system, we've added a 0 so that all numbers are now 4 digits. If you are a non-member seller and you had an N in front of your number, that has become a 1. Again, if you have old tags, don't worry about it. You don't have to retag everything. But when you're going to the new system, replace your N with a 1. If I see it come through and you put an N in there, I will reach out to you and we'll change it as quickly as I can. Anyways, this is where you would go to enter your items, to print your tags, to manage all your stuff. You'll be able to view your settlement, so that is what money you're going to get at the end of the sale, or the anticipated amount that you will get. And you can also sign up for volunteer hours. I'll talk about that in a minute. There's this thing here called check-in schedule. You can see it down here where my cursor is, and also up on the top here. We're not using that, so don't worry about that. There's nothing there. And then there's some reports, right? Your settlement reports. So everything is in here. The system requirements that you'll need. Let me just put that down here. This is a little bit out of date, I know from the other documentation, but Firefox will work. I'm using Chrome. Chrome works and it's supported. They say IE9. I know I've used it with IE11 and it's worked. I don't believe they're supporting IE11, so keep that in mind. One other thing you're going to need is Acrobat Reader, because the tags are printed out in PDF form. So you need to have some sort of program that will read PDFs, that you can read them and print them out. You'll need a printer, obviously, to print your tags. And then we're recommending with the new system if you can use a bit heavier paper, and that is because in the fall sale, when we move to the scanning, we're going to get some scanners, which will make our checkout much faster. It'll eliminate some human error. And hopefully, just make that whole process smoother. The barcodes work better on a heavier paper, so we would recommend a bit heavier cardstock. But you can use, we've had in the past, white or pink. You can use any light colored paper, so it would need to be light. So I would recommend a white or an off-white, but you don't need to have special pink paper or anything like that anymore. As well, if you need to download Adobe Reader, here's the link right down here. So it's nice and handy. Okay, let's go ahead and enter our items. So if you have previously tagged items, you're going to need to write on those tags a unique item number. So there's different ways to do this. The end result needs to be that each of your items has a unique number, whether it's in the new system or whether it's an old tagged item that's not in the system. So here's one way of doing this. I have tagged my items already. I've got 77 previously tagged items. So I just need to make sure that in the system here, none of my tags are 1 to 77, because I'm already using those. It can be anything other than 1 to 77. Now, I've been playing around with this system for a bit, so I think my tags start at, 150 or something right now. Yours will all start at 1, unless you go through and you create tags from 1 to whatever your previously tagged items go up to. So let's say Well, I have 77. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say I have to give it a price. I don't need to put anything else in here. This is just so that my item number in the system starts after the item numbers I've used manually on my previously tagged items. So I can power tag up to 20. So in this case, I would just go 20 at $1. Boom. They're there. I'm going to do another 20. Boom. They're there. And another 20. So I need 77, right? So that's 60. And then 17. So there's my 77 items, all nicely tagged, or nicely on there. Now you can see my numbers go up to 200 again. I've been playing in the system. Yours will show up 1 to 77 or 1 to whatever, however you make. And then I can go ahead, so that goes up to, let's see, 242. I can go and I can remove those items. Yes, I want to remove them. Now when I go to do my next one, so now I actually have something I want to put into the system with a new tag. Let's see, I have got some boys' shorts. So I want to put the price in. They're going to be $1 a piece. I'm going to leave the discount on. That means that for the last hour of the sale, anything with a new tag that has discount yes on it will be 50% off for the last hour. So I want to leave that on. You can't use the donate. We do the donations a little differently. Again, that's all in the seller's handbook. I set the size. So let's see, I know I've got a whole bunch of size 4, and I can do 4, I can use 4T, doesn't really matter. I can put that they're shorts if I want. I can also leave that blank. I can leave it blank and I can handwrite it in, doesn't really matter. Basically, and actually, you know what, I'm just going to leave that blank. I'm going to say we've got boys' clothing, because then I can use it for not just the shorts, but anything else I want to price at $1. And I can either then choose to write stuff in or not. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to do, I know I've got at least 10 items there. So I'm going to add 10 of those items. Okay, so now I've got 10. You can see it started at 243. So it starts one after the ones I already made and deleted. So I know I'm safe. These are safe numbers. Again, doesn't have to be sequential, just needs to be a unique item number. Okay, and I can leave those in. And I say I have some other things. I know I have some shirts that'll be $2. These are, I've got some size 6 stuff. I'm going to leave it as clothing. And I've got at least 20 of those. Actually, yeah, I've got at least 20 of those, so I'm going to add those in. So I've got 30 tags here. So I've entered those in, and I want to print those. Now, say I've entered them in, and I'm like, oh, you know, I didn't want to have those discounted or whatever. I can go in and I can edit things. So I can change this price for this one to whatever price I want. I can check off the discounter on it. I can, you know, do whatever I need there. I can also go into under manage inventory up here, and I can see all my items. And I can see, I can mark them as not sold. If I know some people have large items that you might be trying to sell on Kijiji or something. So you may want to have, you could use this to organize those large items, mark them as sold if they got sold in Kijiji before the sale, or whatever you're doing here. You can mark a whole bunch as not to donate or not to discount. Anyways, this is where you would manage them. But we want to go into print our tags and keep this nice and simple. So I've actually got more than my other items here, because you can see down here I've actually created some items earlier, 165 to or 156 to 165, that I've already printed out, and you can see that they say that they're generated. Oops, generated. They are not sold. I've already tagged these items. The new tags I just sent have not been generated, and they also shows not sold. So what the cool thing is, when we do when we sell things at the end, you'll see that your stuff as it's getting sold. So depending on how specific you want to get in your description, you can actually track things, which will be pretty cool. All right, so I want to generate, oh, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to generate my tags. I want to say all not generated tags because I just want to see the stuff not generated, and then refresh. So now the stuff that I've already generated does not show up at the bottom of my list. And then I want to select all, and then I want to say generate the tags. It says I've selected 30 tags. Do you want to continue? Yes. And you can see down here it's creating this PDF file. I can open that up, and here are my tags. Now note that it's 8 tags per page. So if I were saving paper, which I should really be doing, and not doing this demo, I would make it a factor of 8 so that I had an even number of pages. You'll see, yeah, I've wasted a bit of paper here, which I wouldn't normally do. But here are my tags, and all I do then is I can save those and print them out, and then I can print them out. Now, note that you can't just generate a page of tags and then print them out 5 times, because you'll see, where is it? Seller number, item number. Each of these has an item number. If you, and it's built into the barcode, and we will need that item number when we're selling your items. If you took this one page and then printed it out 5 times and used it on your items, you would have 5 items that are 266 and 5 items that are 268 and 5 items that are 270, and it would mess things up. So that's not good. We want you to have a good selling experience. We want our buyers, shoppers, to have a good buying experience. So please do not do that. But as it is, I will go ahead and I will print my stuff off on the office printer upstairs, and voila, that is done. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Before we go, I can't show you view settlement at this point, but I will show you the volunteer. Again, you can click around in here. We have a whole bunch of volunteer schedules. If you're a member seller, and you know, I don't have it in front of me, but you do. Whether you're a member or a non-member, you get certain benefits. Again, it's all in the seller's handbook. So I would encourage you to sign up for volunteer shifts. You'll see all the shifts that are open, plus you'll see the stuff that you've signed up for. Right now we have a whole bunch of generic Friday night shifts. We've got a bunch of generic Saturday morning shifts, and then if I were to look at more shifts, there's a whole bunch of generic down here Saturday afternoon shifts. So you can sign up for those. I've also inputted some high needs. These are for the checkout, point of sale checkout. So if you're a member, we're only going to put members on the money tables, but we also have a need for members or non-members on the actual checkout tables. And again, I will personally be helping you out with that. It's fun, you know, it depends on what you like to do. But anyways, we do need people to sign up for those shifts. They're 4-hour shifts, and members, we ask you to do at least 1. Non-members, we're asking for 2. And again, they don't have to be you. They could be you or your spouse. We need you to, we need a body that's associated with your seller number, basically. And so whoever you send, whether it's you or your spouse or your mother-in-law or whatever, they need to know your seller number, that they are a volunteer for you and your seller number, in order for it to count towards your volunteer time. And I think that's it for now. I look forward to seeing you, lots of you up here, and tagging in.